This video is designed to introduce new players to Twilight Imperium 4th edition. This video is not a setup guide. To the game host, please ensure the game is set up according to the pictures in the video description.
Twilight Imperium is a science fiction game, combining the strategy of a Game of Thrones, the board game, with the seemingly limitless scenarios of Cosmic Encounter. By the end of this video, you will be familiar with your components and have an understanding of the game's structure.
The galactic empire of the Lizaks has fallen. Its former capital, Mechatol Rex, is ripe for the taking. Who among the alien races of the galaxy can fill the void left by their former rulers? Twilight Imperium 4th edition is a game of galactic conquest in which 3 to 6 players take on the role of one of 17 factions, vying for galactic domination through military might, political maneuvering, and economic bargaining. To win the game, a player needs to acquire 10 victory points, depicted on the victory points panel. These victory points can be acquired by fulfilling public objective cards, fulfilling secret objective cards, and other methods.
There is no time or round limit to Twilight Imperium. The game only ends when a player reaches 10 victory points. Each round is split into 4 phases. Phase 1, Strategy. Players determine their strategies for the round. Phase 2, Action. Players execute their plans for the round. Phase 3, Status. Players assess all objectives and see if somebody has won. Phase 4, Agenda. Players vote for new laws to pass in the galactic community, which can alter gameplays in future rounds. We shall go into each round in the following chapters. You can reference each phase by the highlighted bar along the bottom of the screen. There are a lot of components in Twilight Imperium, which can be daunting to first-time players. However, the functions behind each component are actually very simple. So let's take a look at your player zone. Choose your player colour for the game. In our example, I shall be playing as blue, for blue is the best colour, and if you disagree, then you are wrong. Your pool of ship figures are placed along the top of the player zone. Beside these, you will find 2 yellow decks. These are your basic technology decks. The left focuses on ship upgrades, and the right focuses on all other upgrades. Note that there are 4 types of technologies that you can research, based on the coloured icon. Next, you will find a small blue deck of promissory notes. These are contracts you may trade with other players as part of a transaction or negotiation. These contracts can negatively affect your progress on future turns, so trade these with caution. Finally, the command sheet. The quick reference list is there for your benefit in keeping track of actions on any given turn. The 3 triangular sections are where you'll be placing command tokens, a currency that players spend to perform actions and expand their fleet. Tactic. Command tokens in the Tactic section enable you to produce units, move ships, and activate each system, or prepare to fight. Fleet. Command tokens in the Fleet section determines the maximum number of fleets you can control. Strategy. Each command token in the Strategy section will allow you to take an action in Phase 1, the strategy phase. Trade goods are a tradable currency you can receive from other players. We shall explain their function in detail later. This is your basic player area. And now, this is where things get spicy, baby. Now you will select your alien race. There are 17 species available to choose from. Every race is unique with their own abilities, technologies, and rule-altering features. You may choose one or select one at random. In our example, I will be playing as the Federation of Sol. Take the associated pack and let's have a peek inside. On all these items you will see the icon representing your species. Please also note that some species will have additional items. As standard, you will have the following items. 1 promissory note card unique to your species. Place this with the rest of your promissory note cards. 2 technology cards unique to your species. Place these below your basic technology decks. 1 or more planet cards unique to your species and its respective tile. The game host shall inform you where to place your tile on the board. Keep hold of your planet card. Let's take a closer look at the planet card. Whenever you want to build ships, vote, or research, you have to spend the right currency in order to do so. Planets under your control are able to produce these currencies for you by depicting their resource value for building, their influence value for voting, and some planets will have technology, the same types found on your technology cards. If on your turn you want to gain one of the currency types it produces, you will flip the planet card over. This means you have exhausted its function for the round in exchange for the currency. Some planets will also have a trait. Laws introduced may affect planets of particular traits, whether it's culturally significant, hazardous, or industrial. "16 command tokens, with your species icon on each one. At the start of the game, you will place 3 on Tactic, 3 on Fleet, and 2 on Strategy. Do so now. Player tokens, with your species icon on each one. These are only used as progress markers for the objective or victory points area. Place a player token on the victory panel now. And finally, your species reference sheet. On the front, most space is taken up by information about each individual ship. We'll explore this in further detail later. Just know that for every species, you will have slightly different stats for each ship, and that you can upgrade your ships by unlocking the associated technology card from your technology deck. Your species' unique abilities are listed on the right-hand side. In our example, I have an additional method of producing infantry, and the ability to gain an additional command token during Phase 3 of the round. Below this is an area where you'll be placing commodity tokens. Thematically, these are surplus goods that your species produce that, whilst worthless for you, are lucrative for your opponents. In terms of gameplay, you want to trade your commodities, because you can't use them yourself. However, when a player receives a commodity token from another player, they can turn it into a trade good. Trade goods can be spent as either the resource currency for building or influence currency for voting. Some races will produce more commodities than others. Flipping over the reference sheet, you'll come face to face with the side that's mostly just flavor text. Reading this is entirely optional. What we're most interested in is the information in the bottom left, which determines what benefits your species starts out with. Place the associated units on your starting home planet. In our example, I'll be placing 2 carriers, 1 destroyer, 3 fighters, 5 infantry, and 1 space dock on my home system of Jord. Search through your technology decks to find your associated starting technology. In our example, I'll be taking Neural Motivator and Anti-Mass Deflectors. Finally, all players will take 2 secret objective cards and keep just 1. You'll have the option of attaining more objective cards as the game progresses. When choosing your secret objective, keep in mind what kind of game you're wanting to play. Will you want to focus on trade? To be a monstrous brute? Or maybe a technological marvel for the entire galaxy to behold? That choice is up to you. This completes the setup of your player zone. Now let's introduce you to the main play zone. The strategy zone is associated with Phase 1 of the round. It is comprised of 8 cards that will determine your course of action for this round. We shall explore this later, when looking at Phase 1. The Galaxy Grid is associated with Phase 2 of the round. Your game host will have set up a customized galaxy according to the number of players and other factors. At the heart of every galaxy, however, is Mechatol Rex, In order to conquer Mechatol Rex, you will need to pay the custodian price of 6 influence. This will be explored in further detail later. You will have placed your starting system in a free space according to your game host's instructions. This is your place in the galaxy, and from here you will seek to expand. When you look across the different systems, you will notice there are strange anomalies such as nebulas, asteroid fields, and supernovas. You can refer to the bottom of your command sheet's quick reference guide to find out exactly what each anomaly does and how it will affect your plans for expansion. The status and agenda zone. This is the area associated with Phase 3 and Phase 4. It is here that we'll keep track of the following. Victory points. Use one of your player tokens to mark your progress towards fulfilling the 10 victory points required to win the game. Public objectives. New objectives will be unveiled here as the game progresses. When you complete an objective, you will mark it with a player token in Phase 3. Private objectives. You will have the option to draw new private objective cards as the game progresses. Laws. The Galactic Council will vote on new rules for the game from the agenda deck. The group will draw agenda cards in Phase 4 of the round and conduct a vote. Action cards are powerful one-time abilities. All players will draw from this deck on Phase 3. A player can have a maximum of 7 action cards in their hand. Now we are ready to play Twilight Imperium. You will most likely still feel a bit intimidated and have further questions. For now, you can treat yourself and have a wee.